Should we feed the trolls online? I feel like trolling is like an intention. You have an intention of just annoying the other people. Like your pure goal isn't to change your mind or think through a topic. You really just want to make somebody mad, trigger somebody, which is probably not the most noble of goals. But a question I have for you. I'm going to posit this question. Do you think we can engage trolls and it'd be productive? People who do the trolling, they go on a thing, they go on Facebook, they go on Instagram, they go on whatever, YouTube. Oh, YouTube. Oh, the trolls. Whew. They go on these social media dillywhackers and they will just blast people. Stupid. Oh, that's stupid. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? How does anybody believe that? Uh oh my gosh, how stupid. This kind of goes into the thing about worldviews too. Worldviews are complicated. So in a sense, some people say the key aspect was emotional for them to hold the worldview they do today. It could be intellectual, is a more intellectually fulfilling thing. That's kind of what got me. But that's the thing is whether I could debate that, right? We could debate that. But at the same time, that's within my sphere. Just like your worldview is within your sphere. We can discuss objective things. Well, when I say objective, I just mean things beyond ourselves that maybe we could agree on. Unmarried men or bachelors, you know. Maybe we could agree on that. Certain elements of the universe, maybe, hopefully, we exist, maybe. Worldviews can be complicated. One of the things that trolls like to do is they love to oversimplify a worldview. There's a group I'm in, and we have Christians, atheists, we've had Muslims before, pagans, various views. And one of the big things we talk about and agree upon is the goofiness of oversimplification. If there was a worldview maybe where somebody like lived under a rock forever, they had no access to internet, they had no knowledge or anything like that. They had a simplistic, very extremely simplistic worldview. Then yeah, you could probably knock that down in 2 seconds. But nowadays, with the advent of the internet, a lot of people you're going to engage have more complexity. But let me give you a hypothetical. Let's say they don't, okay? Shouldn't we as people, shouldn't we have good virtues, right? Shouldn't we be charitable towards people, you know, who do have a different worldview, even if they are possibly wrong? Because if we just go and we don't know all that much about their worldview, like we may have heard it from Bob or Jim or whatever, but maybe this person has a completely different take on it. What if this person went to, you know, like has a Harvard level education, PhD level education in that particular worldview? I mean, most people don't statistically, but they could. They might have a better understanding of that than Bob or Jim. I think oversimplification. I think it's not putting your best foot forward. And I think could be intolerant. I don't know. Do not think that it's productive. I think that trolls really, they break people down in a way, like if a person actually allows a troll to affect them, even though the troll probably doesn't even have, like that's what they live for, it's not beneficial. Let's say a troll's coming to try to make a person lose their worldview or change their worldview. You're going to break them down to try to get them to come to your worldview or not believe their worldview. I don't think that's going to be very beneficial for anybody to be pushed down and bullied into your worldview. I think that that's very manipulative. I think it's very disingenuous, and if it were me, it'd put me a straight ticket to somewhere else. As a Christian, I would never want to bully someone into faith. Your worldview is so stupid, oh my gosh. I'm a firm believer in a person, giving a person information, them thinking through it, and coming to a conclusion on their own. Like, if I were talking to someone about Jesus and they want to accept Jesus, then awesome. But I'm saying I'm not a person that's like, here's my sales strategy. I think that, especially, again, talking about the internet, it's better to be able to give someone information and say, hey, don't even accept it from me. Go look it up on your own. And then they can look it up. I hope they do anyway. But it's one of those things where people, I think skepticism of people's word is probably a good thing nowadays because you do have open access to information. So, yeah. So if somebody tells you something, I definitely would encourage them to look it up on their own. That's very fun. I had this friend, we were talking about Galileo, and they thought he was burned at the stake. And I said Galileo was under house arrest, which is still not, I mean, it's not a great thing. It was Giordano Bruno that was burned. I butchered that name. His mentor. And the person like, oh. As soon as I told them this, they immediately rushed and grabbed their phone to look it up. Surprise, surprise, I was correct. It tends to be people who disagree with you that will look it up. Instead of like bullying or trolling, again, I talked about Socratic method, asking people questions.